Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good God morning to you guys. Rise and shine and give God the glory. And I believe it's Philippians 4 and 13 that says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And I just want to encourage you all on this morning that you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. Put your mind to something, focus on it, stick to it, and go forth and be great. Amen. Well, I kind of want, well, if you, let me just say this. The music that you hear in the background is not my, I have no rights to the music. As a matter of fact, I am enjoying this via YouTube. And this is actually the minister, um, Honorable Louis Farrakhan, in concert concerto performing Beethoven. He is actually quite an accomplished musician. He plays violin, and yeah, I like to listen to classical music every once in a while. So yeah. Anyways, the topic that I had up for discussion was about the bonnet business. The girls going wild is what I called it, and this is, I guess, in response to um, the situation where Monique came out and she made a very, I would say, motherly, mother-like video appealing to young ladies on, how they come out and um, adorn themselves in public. And she got a lot of backlash for what uh what she said, as far as young ladies coming out and with the, when she was in the airport, she said they were walking through the airport in public with bonnets on and pajamas and slippers and head scarves, not head wraps, but head scarves, do rags, this type of thing. And she was just encouraging young ladies to, you know, come out, put your best foot forward. And actually, I was surprised at how many people came back on her in a negative way, because she actually gave good advice to young ladies. I don't get it for the life of me how many people, well, why so many people came so hard on her. I remember my mother was a neat freak, okay? Everything around her was clean. Her clothes was always neat. They might not always be matching now, because my mom could do some, she could mess some colors up. I mean, green pants, yellow shirt, pink socks. And the first thing she says, I'm clean. I'm clean. And they were neat, they were ironed, no wrinkles anywhere, none of that. And she always had her little makeup on, her little earrings or whatever. And it was the same even with my grandmother. My grandmother would get up 4 or 5 o'clock every morning because she was raised in the South. And usually early in the morning, they were up working. My grandmother would get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, have her bath, and by 5 or 6 o'clock, she's sitting at the breakfast table with her coffee, fully dressed, earrings and everything, jewelry, not going anywhere, but she's just ready for the day. Come what may, she's ready. So they instill that into us, my generation. You know, don't go out inappropriate. You know what I mean? Don't go out. Um, First, it was this trend with the tights because they were not leggings. The tights and the short shirts, and you could see right through them. They were not leggings because they were opaque tights, and you could see right through them. So they started wearing these, what were supposed to be spandex, or I don't know. They were meant to be worn under clothes, though, not on as a garment. And then the next thing you know, there was the bras on the outside, and with the see-through shirt or the mesh blouses, and now it's like I just don't care. Whatever I get up out of the bed in, that's what I walk out the door in. Or whatever I prepare myself for bed for, that's what I walk out the door. And then, this is a practice. This isn't, I can understand if it was an emergent situation. The house was on fire. Someone was being rushed to the hospital. You got a call in the middle of the night and you had to hurry up and get there and you just ran out the way you were. I get that. But as a practice, to go outdoors ungroomed, undressed, with a bonnet on, and to be perfectly honest, I am beginning to hate it because they are making the bonnet so fashionable, like sequins and polka dots and rhinestones. I mean, they're making it to accommodate the people that want to wear them outside. But it's just like, come on, it's a bedroom garment. As a matter of fact, it used to be a joke amongst the husbands and the wives when they say you come to bed with the flannel pajamas and that big head thing on your head and blah blah blah. And it used to be a joke because they used to say, "This is not how I met you," But he didn't understand. Well, this is how I keep it together, like wrapping it up at night and putting the face cream on and all this, that, and the other. But even though you don't have to go to bed with face cream, that was just a thing. And I think in that day it was meant to turn the husband off on purpose. But at any rate, it was a joke between the husband and the wife because of the way she came to bed looking like. So if you imagine if a husband didn't want his wife to come to bed looking like that, why would it be okay to go in public looking that way? I remember I was just around the house and I was doing my wifely, motherly duties around the house, cleaning and cooking, and I was doing laundry. So I grabbed um, it was a denim skirt and a t-shirt out of the basket and threw it on because I had to run something to my mom's house. I just grabbed it out of the basket and I threw it on. And I just slipped on some flats and I put the babies in the car seats and I went and ran what I was going to run over to my mom. And when I got to my mother's house and she looked at me, she said, "Oh my God." I'm like, "What?" She said, "Oh my God, baby, your skirt is wrinkled. Your shirt is wrinkled. Why did you come out of the house like that?" I said, "Mom, I was just running over to your house. I was just coming to drop this off." No, and she started crying. Don't ever come. You always put your best foot forward. You are a beautiful woman, and blah blah blah. And so from now, I mean, I was laughing because I thought, my, it wasn't that serious, but I appreciate her depositing that into my spirit, because if not, I would not have raised my children the right way. Now, the way my children are right now, they are all grown women. All my girls are grown. Most of them have children and families and this and that. So they are responsible for their households. But when my grandchildren come to my house, we do things differently. So it was always like when my granddaughters went to my mom's or whatever, they were up early in the morning, they had their baths, my mom did their hair. And you can always tell when my mom did their hair, because they used to say that my mother, when she combed their hair, their ponytails, she made them look like little puppy dog ears because they were drooping down. It was so funny. But it was really neat. Like every hair was in place. I don't know how many times she may have brushed it or whatever, but every hair was in place. Face was oil with Vaseline, and they were smelling good, and had little earrings in uh, the little balls, the little colorful balls or whatever to match the outfit. And I mean, just the little beads and all that type of thing. She had them, really neat and ready to go at like 7 in the morning, because that's the way she was raised. So now we have come to a time where it is the norm to just run out in your pajamas. I have seen, and it's not just in the African American community, because I don't live in the inner city, and I see other ethnicities out in their pajamas at the store, at the 7-Eleven, buying a pack of Marlboros and a Mountain Dew Slurpee. Okay? So it's not just in the inner city, but where do they adapt that from? Where do these ladies get this from? That it's okay to just run out. It's because that's what they think. Like even with teenagers, in high school, they would have the pajama day. Where they would go to school and they would have their pajamas on through the school day for the senior spirit week or whatever it was. I couldn't stand that. I would like, at least put something on under it or something. But I was just not comfortable with my kids going to school with PJs on. It irked me. So because of the spirit of the week, they wanted to participate. You can't tell them no. It's a senior year. It's school spirit. They go along with it. But even at that, that was something that happened. They would change clothes and come home or whatever. They were not allowed to be in the street with pajamas on. They were not allowed to be outside with the hair rags and the bonnets and that on. They had to make themselves look presentable. Even when I was a teenager, when the Jerry curls were a thing, people ran outside with the plastic caps on all the time. They wore the plastic cap. It wasn't because they were trying to moisturize. It was probably because it needed to be done, and the cap was a downplay for what was really going on up under there. So that's to let you guys know how that was. But at any rate, I always wanted to go out looking my best because I never knew who I might run into. And just, as a note to the young ladies, it's not an insult for someone to give you advice that you can use constructive criticism. It's not an insult. It's an encouragement to know that you are beautiful, you are a queen, and a queen adorns herself in queenly garments, queenly robes, jewels. And she should represent her royalty. You shouldn't, you should care about how you look, how you feel, how you present yourself, because you never know when your king is waiting. And some people say, well, yeah, he's going to come anyways. Is that, but just remember, you attract what you draw. If you attract a man that doesn't care how you look, that doesn't care how you present yourself, that doesn't care about the things that come out of your mouth or the things that go into your mouth, and you attracted that to yourselves. And if you draw it to yourselves, that's what's attracted to you. So if you don't care and he doesn't care, nobody cares. And that means that that nice outfit that you saw him in, probably the only outfit that you see him in, because he probably doesn't have anything else. But you drew that to yourself because that's what you attracted. Women are like magnets. And in the idealistic way, magnets attract the opposite because opposites attract. But in this instance, you attract what you draw. So how you present yourselves is how you will be represented. There's absolutely nothing wrong in putting your best foot forward before you go out in public. There's nothing wrong with making sure that you're well groomed, well dressed, in the best that you can do, putting your best foot forward. It's okay to be comfortable with a baseball cap or a jogging suit or whatever you want. But there's some people that won't even go out of the house in sweatpants. There's some ladies I know that will never go out of the house in sweatpants or in yoga gear. They're going to definitely shower, groom, and get themselves together and get well dressed first. And that's not an insult. The world is changing. Remember, to whom much is given, much is required. If God gives you a big responsibility, then a lot is going to be required of you. I wouldn't want somebody standing in a pulpit preaching to me and they haven't been groomed or haven't bathed, or they just getting up preaching in a bonnet. And it's because it's the way that they represent themselves that makes their message acceptable. So don't be so hard on Monique. Don't be so hard on anyone offering you motherly advice. And too bad you didn't take it from your motherly examples if you had one. And that's not an insult. That's a fact. I'm grateful that I had my mom, my grandma, my village to instill me into me the right things. And I just pray that you will take good advice. This goes for gentlemen as well. Keep your hair cut, keep your hair combed, keep your pants up, keep your shoes clean. Because believe it or not, you'll get a once over wherever you go. And you never know. Whatever your dreams are, your aspirations are, It might be looking you right in the eye. The provisions to make your dreams come true might be looking you right in the eye. How and what do you want it to see? Okay, off my soapbox. I'm going to go for a minute and I'll talk to you guys soon. I love you on purpose. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Later for now.